And good evening, everybody. It is Mass Comedian X. I'm right here alongside good old Big Ace. Hello. Ace. How you doing?
Hello. What's up?
Boy, I'll tell you, everything is up.
Is that you behind you?
Yeah, it's a picture of me and a picture of me. No, this is from some old wrestling magazine. Let me see if I can get out of the way. From parts unknown. from parts unknown.
We'll have to start. We need to start just putting a picture of a different wrestler behind you, and every week that's someone you beat.
Well, that could be. Although most people know I didn't beat anybody. I mean, I've never beat anybody. I have 0 arm strength. Anyway, point being, holy cow, what a week we had. And it was quite a whirlwind, wasn't it? For you, definitely. You had all sorts of stuff going down on Waterloo.
Yeah, super busy weekend. Really, still like exhausted. Like that just shows how old I'm getting, I guess. Like I can't hang like I used to. I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, come on. You're no PBI guy anymore, are you?
No, those days are definitely over. It's just like a lot of work, whatever. The thing too is over there, it gets hot.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I know I'm complaining about being like in Iowa and it's hot or whatever, but like where they do most of this stuff, like the hotel, like in the hotel bar that we hang out at a lot, no AC.
Are you kidding?
No. So that part does make it a bit rough. You know what I mean? But it's, it is what it is. Did
you stay at a hotel? Was it at a hotel in Waterloo or was it one in Cedar Falls?
Oh, no. We stay right in downtown Waterloo because that's where it's all at the Five Sullivan Brothers Convention Center. And then like a block behind that is where the actual museum and Hall of Fame is.
Oh, very cool.
So that Ramada that's connected to that is like the central hub. So like everybody just stays there.
So once you got there, you could park your car and pretty much walk everywhere you needed to go.
Yeah. I mean, if we wouldn't have to like cart equipment around, and we had to go to the store a few times throughout the weekend too, but we didn't have to do that. Yeah. We would have never had to move our car the whole weekend if we didn't want to.
Shoot, that's awesome.
Yeah. Even the one like after party they do on Friday night, they shuttle you down the 4 or 5 blocks to the bar.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really don't have to like walk if you don't want to.
Yeah. So first of all, let's ask, what was the turnout like down there this year?
It was a good turnout. It was a really good turnout. The Friday night wrestling show, from what I heard, was sold out and the biggest one to date.
Wow.
Was what I was hearing. Really good crowd. And then, the banquet was great. Wish more people would stay. Like you can definitely tell who are the like all access people who come for this every year and they're there all weekend and stuff. And you can definitely tell that there's a big chunk of the crowd at the show Friday night that is literally there for just the show.
Just for the show.
Yeah. So they don't stick around for the stuff the next day at the museum or the actual Hall of Fame induction banquet, stuff like that, which that's where you get to see some of the cool moments as far as like, listening to like Beth Phoenix give her speech of being inducted or Sarge or Thunderbolt Patterson, it's fun to listen to that. So,
and you don't get to hear those speeches, those stories that they're probably not going to do because they're not actually involved in the wrestling part of it, the wrestling show. But you knew some of the guys that were wrestling on the show. I think you told me. And I don't remember the fellow's name, but the fellow that wrestled Ultimo Dragon, Matty Starr.
Matty Starr. Big shout out to him.
Yep. And
it was a good weekend of matches. Like Eugene, Nick Densmore was there. Victoria, Ultimo Dragon with Sonny Ono. Airwolf from Minneapolis was there. Who does a lot of like the first wrestling shows. Which they just announced Jimmy Havoc, and I can't remember the other guy's name off the top of my head right now, are having a no DQ match at the Brewhouse Pub show that we're going to in a couple weeks. So that's going to be fun.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and I hope
I got to tell you, I hope they don't see me in this mask and say, we're going to punch that guy.
You'll
Look at that big bastard. He could take a bump.
You'll
And it's
make
not
it.
true. No, you'll have a heart attack.
You'll be good. You'll be good. They'll help you before they do it. No, it's gonna be. I've never actually been to a show in a brew house, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like kind of an interesting spot to have a show, but I mean, the closer the better, I guess, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, and then so it was a good time. We did the big show. Of course, Wes Briscoe was there with his dad, Jerry Briscoe. Of course, I do the Briscoe and Big A show with Wes, so make sure you check us out as well.
And I was going to say, now that's an interesting story in and of itself.
It is. It was really interesting because, like, we were supposed to do a live podcast on Saturday of all the Hall of Fame events. Now, like, there was hands that had shift power, stuff like that, people running the actual Hall of Fame museum and the weekend. So for a minute there, it kind of made me thought we might have got lost in the shuffle. We were able to confirm that, we were still doing it. We didn't get to start it at the exact time we wanted to, just because some things were running a little behind. We also weren't exactly set up in the place we wanted. We were going to do it originally, but it actually worked out better. So that's a plus. But yeah, so we were supposed to do a live show. Tentatively, we were supposed to have Beth Phoenix as our guest. Her and Wes are friends. We have reached out months before, and things seemed to be on the up and up that she was going to do it. We just didn't really get the chance to confirm it before the actual weekend. So we were a little nervous that maybe she wasn't going to have time to do it because it's a super busy weekend for these people. They have to do autograph signings, panels. They got the actual induction banquet stuff.
Yeah.
It's busy for the people who are actually being inducted or honored at this thing. So we didn't know if she'd have time. So we kind of got a couple of our friends from IPW, a local promotion in Iowa, Impact Pro Wrestling, run by Troy Peterson, which is an amazing, amazing organization. If you're in this area and you want to learn how to wrestle, go down there, talk to them. They will be glad to show you. And they run a great show. So if you ever see them doing a show in your town, go. But yeah, so he kind of got us set up in this little theater room. So luckily we had like good seating. We set it up. But literally as I was setting up, I didn't know who our guests were going to actually end up being. It sounded like at this point to be safe. Mr. Briscoe, Jerry Briscoe is going to come on. Wes was able to have him come on, and then Thunderbolt Patterson. So now we thought we had them, IPW kid James Jeffries, IPW legend, really, because I mean, if you're a fan of this organization, you know who James Jeffries is, and he's one of those guys. He's got a heart of gold for that company, and I mean, people just love him. So, and he has a great talent. So we knew they were going to be on it, but then kind of just snowballed effect that like the last 5 minutes before we actually went live, it was just like, no, I think Beth might actually come in now. Oh, hey, also, like, I think Sergeant Slaughter is going to come in now and sit with us.
Wow. So
then it literally, when we were about to go live, I had Beth Phoenix, Sergeant Slaughter, me, Jerry Briscoe to my right, Wes, Thunderbolt Patterson, and then James Jeffries. So
holy cow.
We went from, we didn't know exactly who was going to be our guest or how many guests we were going to have to a loaded panel of guests, and just like kind of a surreal moment. I mean, I'm a fan when it comes down to it at heart. I've been a fan of all this before I was ever doing, I guess you can say, media on it, wrestling. So it was a pretty surreal moment for me to be like, oh, look, Sergeant Slaughter to my left and Jerry Briscoe to my right. What a world.
Unbelievable, baby. And then of course last night you showed me that Sergeant Slaughter had followed you on Twitter.
Yeah, that made my night.
That? Yeah, holy cow.
Sarge. And then and a lot of great people there too, though. Baron Von Raschke, Brian Blair from the Killer Bees was there.
Oh yeah.
He had his retirement match.
That was there.
That's what they said it was. He went full heel though at the end of it against the babyface, and it was just weird. So who knows?
Unbelievable.
He does have a pretty bad back, I think, right now. So might be taking some time out. Maybe that's what he meant. I don't know if he's really retiring, but
how old is he?
Old? I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
You think he's older than 50?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I mean,
nice,
he's probably
nice man though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I must say he's probably close to 60.
Probably, yeah, he's probably up there
Because I remember him wrestling when I was young.
for sure.
Anyway,
But yeah, then Sheamus was there, and Natalia was there. I didn't really get to interact with them too much. I was with Wes when he went up and talked to Sheamus.
sure.
See, a lot of people don't realize that Wes was actually in FCW / NXT right at the end, kind of.
Oh yeah.
He wrestled with like all these guys, Sheamus and Roman and all them. Like he was there with all them. He was actually tag team champs in FCW with Xavier Woods.
Oh, no
For a
kidding.
very short period, yeah. So like he knows all these guys. He's friends with all these guys. So
Yeah.
like, he was saying hi to them. That's about the closest I got.
Oh, yeah.
I took a picture with Natty, and she was very nice, very cool. Ran into her in the elevator a couple times at the hotel. Super nice. And then Beth Phoenix is by far just the sweetest of the sweet. They don't come any nicer than that lady. She is awesome. She really is.
That's fantastic. So over the whole weekend, who would you say was your favorite interaction with?
Oh, it would definitely be that live podcast, just because.
With all of them.
Yeah, it's a surreal moment, because another thing is Thunderbolt Patterson's just a name that you know of. In my world, like I know who he is.
Yeah.
But it was someone that just never crossed my mind that would be someone I'd have a chance to interact with. So that was a really cool thing, and he's from Waterloo, so it was kind of special for him to be there.
Yeah.
And then again, like literally, Sergeant Slaughter and Beth Phoenix to my left, Jerry Briscoe to my right. It's just, those are legends.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a fan at heart is going to appreciate that. You know what I mean? So it was very, very cool. Again, met Victoria, very, very, very nice person as well.
Yeah.
What's that? Ultimo Dragon was there. Sonny Ono was there. That was a cool guy. Really enjoyed Sonny Ono. And the show went off great. They did the three shows. They do the evaluation, then they do the actual qualifiers for this tournament they do for the Hall of Fame.
All right.
And then they do the big show at night. So that was all there. Wes wrestled Brian Pillman Jr., put on a great show. We actually will have a upcoming episode. We're going to release. It's already out on YouTube, but we're going to put an audio version out, as well as maybe a punched up version of the video of our live podcast that we did. But we also have another one we're going to drop probably next week with Brian Pillman Jr. and Kurt Stallion.
Oh, cool.
From Evolve. So they're going to be that we did with Wes. So that will come out next week. So cool stuff there. So check it out. But overall, it was a very successful Hall of Fame weekend. We look forward to doing it again next year, which I've already told you, Mass Comedian, you are coming with next year.
Heck yeah.
So then we're going to make that happen.
I got to start stretching right now.
Yeah,
you're worth of stretching and I'll be fine.
There you go. But no, it's if you are a wrestling fan, if you're in the Midwest, I mean, you're in the Twin Cities area, I'm in the Rochester area, so it's a 2-hour drive for me, 3 for you, 3.5 for you. Wisconsin, Iowa, all Midwest states, depending where you are. Waterloo may not be that far of a drive. If you get down on the pass early, $100 was what you will pay for a ticket to everything, including the banquet with a dinner served.
That's great.
And if you even I bought mine the week before, $130.
Holy cow.
You got to pay for a hotel. And if you're going to do the whole weekend, you would want to be there. Most people come Friday morning or Thursday night. We went down Thursday, come home Sunday. So it's a great weekend. We want to see the numbers go up on that too. I've been going for years now. We'll continue to keep going. The more people come to, the more people they can bring in, the bigger names they can bring in.
Absolutely.
And again, this is one of the only Hall of Fames that really gives props to wrestling as far as a sport.
Correct.
If you look at what like the WWE Hall of Fame is, TNA, when they had one, it's a corporate Hall of Fame.
Right.
You're in this company's Hall of Fame, whatever. The National Wrestling Hall of Fame is for amateur Greco-Roman style wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is weird saying it's amateur wrestling, because it is basically pro wrestling. If you're doing it on the Olympic level, you're a pro at it. But they've been gracious enough to put this professional wing in and acknowledge it and do this Hall of Fame weekend every year. And this is directly affiliated with the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in Oklahoma. which is like the one.
Yeah.
So again, this is the
Very
only Hall
cool.
of Fame that kind of makes professional wrestling like props as a sport. So it's something that people should support. So hopefully, like I said, you come next year, we'll tell everybody about it next year, and
Absolutely.
everybody support it. But yeah, it's a blast, man.
Very cool.
You always
Very
have
cool.
great stories coming home from Waterloo. You know what I
Oh
mean?
gosh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the
Like,
people you met, all the stories that you, because there's stories you can't tell. I know there's stories you can't tell.
yeah, no. I mean, there's stories that I'll tell. There's one that we'll tell on our Briscoe Big Ace podcast
Yep.
that we experienced. That was, let's just say there was a party going on his room, and we kind of walked through it. It was an interesting moment, but
We'll leave it at that and make you tune into the Briscoe and Big Ace show to hear that story.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, otherwise, man, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to be over there. JR did not make it. That was sad, but I guess he had known he wasn't coming for a while. They kind of just were a little late on taking his name off it.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's kind of a downer.
Yeah, I don't know. You never know what's going on with AEW and contracts and all that. Maybe he got a text message saying he can't be there.
Well, I'll tell you, though. I mean, if they were going to let him go to the Raw reunion, they would surely let him go to this. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm just making fun of this whole, like, Cody Rhodes text situation.
Okay. Fine.
Which is, I don't know.
Doesn't make any difference, does it?
Well, like, the thing to me, though, is it's like, if there's anybody you would have to probably text to start to get the ball rolling to sign him again, it'd be Punk.
Yeah.
Because he'd rather hear from one of his friends like, yo, you should really, really consider this. So
yeah,
is my guess is how he would react rather than just having the owner Khan just coming to him. Hey, I want to talk. Let's talk business. I want to talk. You know what I mean? He's like the kind of guy that you would have to be like, hey, bro, come on, man. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, hard to say. And of course, I thought I was going to miss out on everything all weekend, and then lo and behold, I got home on Friday and got a call and was asked to open for David Arquette up in New Hope, Minnesota. And you might say, holy cow, what was he doing in New Hope, Minnesota? He was on his way up to Tower, Minnesota for Fortune Bania. So they did a little, I mean, they did just like comedians do. They want to find a place, they want to make a little money that they can stay. Because, you don't want to hot foot it up to Tower, Minnesota and sit up there for 4 days and go, what are we going to do? I mean, nothing against Tower, Minnesota. It's beautiful up there, but it's in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing going on.
So, a lot of people ask me, oh, David Arquette, was he funny? Well, he was very, very funny. And the fellow that was with him, RJ City, was actually funnier than David Arquette was. He just, they worked together really, really well. And were both very funny. And it was a question and answer period. It wasn't stand up or anything like that. But just, it was very cool because what they did was they went through the entire audience. And I'll tell you, there were probably, I'm going to say close to 200 people there.
Nice.
Which is very nice, for in a movie theater. And they asked, do you have a question? And everybody, if they had a question, got to write it down. Then they went and sorted through it while I was doing my set. And when they came out, they arranged it so they would start doing a little conversation. They talk a little bit about some of the things that David did. And then they would, oh, well, that happens to come into this question. And it was very, very well done. And I think everybody that went was very, very happy. And, he honestly, I said this in a little short take thing I did on the weekend. David Arquette couldn't have been more gracious. He seems like just a sweet guy, and he's happy to be around and doing stuff.
Right.
And and honestly, I mean, he just truly loves wrestling.
Yeah, he's
And
a fan. That's what's cool.
he's a gigantic fan. And
makes
of
you feel
course
a little bit better when he was like, I told him I didn't want the WCW championship.
oh, absolutely. And yet he still gets crap about it.
I know. Yeah.
You know?
Did he talk about Ready to Rumble?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
I just, you know, this is funny, and I didn't get to mention this to him. My son, well, both of my sons went. I took them both to that movie because they were younger, middle school, maybe junior high, I don't know. But after the movie, my youngest son was just enthralled with the movie, and he says, "Gosh, I wonder if I could get a autograph from David Arquette and who was the king? Platt, Oliver Platt."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I don't know, man. Let's see." So I did a little bit of looking up, and there was just addresses. You could send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and that's what they said in the autograph seekers thing. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to this address. These are the best addresses we have. And so my son sent out one to Oliver Platt, and he sent one to David Arquette, and he never heard anything back from Oliver Platt, but he got a signed photograph from David Arquette.
Really?
And yeah. And I mean, because I just get the impression that David Arquette is a kind of guy that's like, oh man, I got a letter from a fan. I should send him something. Don't you think? I mean, he just that just seems like it's his personality. He's just so like he's from a show business family, right? But he's just like still excited about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I can't believe these people like me. Oh yeah, okay. He's got some great stories too.
Oh, I bet. But what are the chances are that was just some dude in some room at that address, just like, which one do we need? An Arquette? Oh, I got it. There we go. There we go.
Well,
wait. Did they make you put money in it though?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe that seems maybe more up and up then.
Yeah. And it's just like, because I've told other people to do that. You know, if you want to get a hold of somebody, go look up their address and send them something. There's, you know, everybody's like, oh, I got to go through their agent. Just look up and see if you can find their address.
Well, now at this point, you just got to send them a thing on Twitter and be like, hey, can I get your autograph?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then they block you. Truth.
Yeah. Way to go.
I don't think I ask him for an autograph.
Whatever. He's a past champ anyways.
Anyway. Yeah, he is now, man.
But in all reality, what is happening with Maria Canales? Like, is she gonna hold the title for a little bit? Is she gonna take it off? Who's gonna take it off her?
I don't know.
And I brought this up to you earlier on, before we were live. Her little segment with Braun Strowman on Raw truly made me feel like maybe Braun is going to end up being the daddy. You know, the baby daddy.
You know, it's there's so many things. I mean, he could be
because
but she could. You know, the other part of it is that her character right now is so bitchy that she might be just playing him so that he'll protect her from anybody that might come after the title.
Yes. Well, yes, but my thing is, like, she already makes Mike do all this shit, so why wouldn't she just make him do that? And then again, too, did we see Braun have a segment after that with her? Was he? I was so exhausted from the weekend, and I was at work last night. So
honestly, I have to go back and look at it again.
Yeah, because I only watched the Hulu version of Raw.
Oh yeah,
the hour or the 90-minute Raw. So there was things that I missed. So I saw the segment where she says the whole, oh, you like to make them, but you don't like to stick around. Show me the monster you can be. But I didn't see if he was involved in anything after that. So if that was like legit all they had, it's like,
yeah,
that's just sounds like they're setting up for him to be like the baby. Like, you know, like I said, they're going to do another pregnant angle. Another big guy is going to get roped into it. And I mean, the only person we've seen survive these stupid things is Kane.
Yeah.
Will Braun survive the whole, this whole thing? Who knows? But I mean, Maria is amazing. Like, she plays the bitch role so good.
She is. I mean, in my mind right now, she is just killing it.
And how like polar opposite is it from her first gimmick in WWE?
Oh my god,
just the ditzy,
an
like
airhead.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now here she is, just this bitch, just lay down, it's mine.
If you don't open that door, I'm gonna kick you in the vagina.
Right? Yeah, that was a good. That got a nice pop too.
It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then to be honest, I gotta tell you, as far as the whole 3-hour show goes, it was. I would say this. I felt like it was a good show and a better show than had been in the past. And I think as we kind of talk, I think that a little bit of that, or a lot of that, is Heyman's hands being involved in it.
Yeah, for sure.
And there was a lot more wrestling, which made that Maria bit stand out even more, because there wasn't a lot of monkeying around. There wasn't a lot of, hey, play my intro, let me go out and say a few words, and then let me get mad, and let me go back in the back, and then play my intro again so I can come out and wrestle.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of there wasn't a lot of stretching.
Right. The only thing that didn't make a lot of sense to me off of the Raw that I watched, again, I watched a 90-minute abbreviated version, was the whole Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Becky Lynch match.
Yeah, I didn't get
the whole point of her pretending to be hurt just so Nikki Cross could challenge, and then she just attacks her at the end. I don't get it. Like, unless this ends up being a big reveal that they're like working for Natalya, what was the point of all that?
I don't get that on not only on that level, but also on the fact that it's like, okay, Alexa's supposed to be a heel and Becky's not, but really it was not. I mean, it's like the lines are getting so blurred with this.
Yeah, for sure.
And the reality is, when SummerSlam comes around, and Natalya's acting, heelish as well, but when SummerSlam goes down, it's going to be in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you think that Natalya is going to get booed?
No,
I don't.
No.
And do you think?
I mean, if there's any chance that she will be heel there, though, Becky's the one to make her that. You know what I mean? But I still don't know if it's good. I just don't see it happening. But then again, I feel like they kind of were trying to do that tonight by having Becky be so cocky last night be so cocky with Alexa, where she was kind of like egging her on, which that's a former multiple champion, who you've already had a feud with. You beat her, you beat Nikki Cross. Well, you didn't beat her, you hurt her, and then you beat Nikki Cross, and then I don't know. I just feel like they were trying to like really put her over, but I don't know. I feel like they're booking her and Natalya the same way. Like they're both just down the middle.
Yeah, it's confusing to me, and I think it waters down any momentum that Becky has. To be honest, I mean, that's just my opinion, because it's just like, she's nowhere close to the woman that got her nose broke. I mean, it's not that was a totally different character in my mind. And now, well, anyway,
everything got watered down going into Mania. You know what I mean? Like it should have never been a 3-way. It should have been her and Rousey, whatever.
Yeah,
it was what it was. You
gotta make everybody happy. Now,
no.
So
I did find it weird though that they showed her. Excuse me. They show her as Seth is getting put in the ambulance, but they made it look like Roman was way more concerned than the woman who's dating him. Like, I thought that was interesting too.
Well, so when she was walking to the ring, Cole says, Seth Rollins is her boyfriend or whatever it was. And it was just like just a little throwaway line, as she was coming to the ring. And then God, when Brock's music hit, I just jump up and squeal, you know. And after all that, and it's like she's not even anywhere close to him,
Right.
you know. It's like, oh, he's getting wheeled off. Well, I think I better stand here
Right.
and be and sort of concerned from arm's length away. I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand that in the least.
Right. Yeah.
And even now, and so here's the other part that I don't understand. I'm all for Brock beating the tar out of him. That's awesome. He doesn't have any friends. Not one person in the back is going to go like, I mean, when he starts spitting blood, not one person in the back is going to go,
well,
you know.
obviously Roman and the Usos apparently, but they just wait for him to come backstage.
Well, yeah, but then when Brock attacks him again on the gurney,
Which
nobody,
was awesome.
Oh, dude, it was beautiful, and props to Rollins for taking that F5 on that thing, because that looked like that hurt worse than the chairs.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but the whole thing to me is it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but they're just these tiny little things.
Well, it's Brock. He's the attraction. They're gonna make him look tougher than anything.
Oh, I want him to look tougher than everything, because, and I love the fact that he's probably been on television now more than he was all of last year.
Right.
You know, I mean, holy cow. And I understand now why they put that belt back on him, because if he's going to be here more often and he can do this kind of stuff more often, it's going to mean that much more when somebody can beat him.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely right. Yeah, I agree too. I think we saw more Heyman in this. You saw some more wrestling, which was always nice. That tag champ match was great. The triple way.
Yeah.
It was solid, but just some loose ends on these storylines need to be tied up. And for that, it wasn't a great Raw because of that. But again, I only saw the 90-minute version. But what I saw, I wouldn't say was like blowing my mind. You know what I mean?
It wasn't. Well, it wasn't. It was. You know, it was better than it. I mean, you go back a month ago. This is way ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this is way ahead of stuff that was going on last year as a whole show. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm. They have to step up their game, and they've been doing it. So
right. Well,
that's all you can hope for.
Yeah, and we'll see what SmackDown does as an answer. See, with SmackDown, we're going to see, I think, a lot more changes due to the whole Fox, thing, and so I think we're going to see a lot of things go down with there. I like what they're doing right now, though. I like that they're letting Owens just go off with what he wants to do.
Oh yeah.
They're never going to go wrong letting him do that. So
no, he's so talented.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that. Again, not a lot stood out to me as far as what was going on SmackDown, and I kind of fell asleep during the last hour.
Yeah.
But I did see the very end, and I want to ask you about this. How cheesy did that look? It looked pretty bad as far as how fake it was that thing was falling on him.
Yeah, but
it looked real when Braun and Lashley go through the screen. It looked real when Braun pulled the crap down on Kane and Brock.
Well, look,
I mean, they even make it look real when he flips the ambulance, but then this thing just looked really just crappy.
Here's the thing. I think, honestly, you can only go to the well so many times. You can only have crap fall on people so many ways. And I understand they probably don't want to do it the same way. They want it to be something different. And, technically, crap. But I don't know. I mean, it that's the least of my worries.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, I don't know what they're doing to Finn Balor. It's going to be, clearly, is it going to be the Demon against the Fiend? Clearly.
But
right?
When though? Because they're not doing the Demon for SummerSlam, they said.
I don't believe it.
I mean, I'd like to not believe it too, but it does seem like a boneheaded move that they would do.
If they have him wrestle without him being the demon, I don't even see how that's even plausible, because it's like, oh well, I'm gonna try it once on my own, and I was like, God, don't do that.
Yeah,
just pull the trigger on it. Don't try to milk it. You can't. You're not in a. I mean, because in my mind, they're not in a spot where they can milk stuff.
Yeah.
If you just did a Raw reunion to get a big pop in the ratings, and now you got to keep it going. And you don't keep it going by drawing storylines out. If it's clear that you should do something, then you got to do it. That's just my opinion. I also wonder, where's Asuka?
Yeah, she went home.
I mean, is she
went home? She was like, "Screw this, I'm out."
I mean,
but what is it? It's her and Kairi-san with Paige, which they were making the big run that those two were going to get this tag match with the Iconics. Did it happen? I know it was supposed to happen last week or something, and then it didn't.
Never happened.
So maybe that'll happen again. Again, I missed some of SmackDown, so
you didn't miss any of that on there. I mean, and I just don't even know why Asuka has to be on a tag team. And that in my mind, that goes to the fact that I believe someone in management feels that if someone can't speak impeccable English, that they shouldn't be a singles performer. Now,
yeah, but then they really pushed Andrade. And they're still kind of pushing Andrade, and he can't speak any English.
Well, what I read was that they've hired a tutor to help him learn English better.
Yeah, her name's Charlotte.
Speaking to my translator.
Best damn tutor in the world.
Yeah.
That one suck.
No, but an actual one
that
speaks impeccable English. I don't know about that.
He just all he does is woo. Woo. Can you speak English? Woo.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, Asuka doesn't speak that great English. I understand.
But neither does
Nakamura. Nakamura doesn't either.
He doesn't know, but he can. I think he can translate enough. My thing that surprises me with that, though, is that they got Paige being the mouthpiece for them.
Yeah.
And Paige is incredibly over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They literally just are not using this little trio right now. That's it.
Not at all.
But I mean, a lot of people are getting, like, Liv Morgan's getting lost in the mix. Sarah Logan's getting lost in the mix. What's Ruby Riott been up to?
Oh, God. Ruby Riott has not a brand split. You haven't seen her.
What's
Holy cow.
What's Dana Brooke doing now? That's another person that she's a legit an athlete. She can go, and they don't do nothing. I mean, if Alicia was, so that was my other question last week on the Raw reunion. So was Alicia Fox there for the Raw reunion?
Yeah, I think she was.
Is she because they've never actually acknowledged that she doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
and there was all that shit about her being drunk all the time.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, that was why I was wondering, is she back now? And she was talking about SummerSlam? Or was she there for the Raw reunion? Which, if that's the case, or would you guys let her go and not tell anybody? Or what's going on?
Yeah. You come to the Raw reunion, and we'll congratulate you on your future endeavors.
Right? How sad is it that John Laurinaitis wasn't there?
Oh, my God.
I want to welcome you.
All I can tell you is I feel like it was a better 2-day show than last week. And the reason I liked it better than last week is because there was actual wrestling. I like the parade of nostalgia, but that was a means to an end for them. And I get it. And as somebody that, grew up watching all of those guys, it's nice to see them.
It's like the old school Raw. They used to do it once a year. They haven't done it lately. That's all it is. It's a gimmick show. They always do this. Remember when it was only a 2-hour Raw and they would do the gimmick it's the Raw, old school or it's the old draft and we're gonna bring people back, and it's like, oh, 3 hour special.
Yep.
And now it's just 3 hours every night, and it's hard
3 hours, not special.
which is going to be interesting to see now that we have the start date for AEW on TNT October 2nd, I believe. 2 hour show.
Oh yeah.
Very interested to see how they're gonna do.
Yeah, I am too.
Because I've
because
always felt 2 hours is the perfect show for wrestling.
Well, 2 hours is the perfect show for a lot of things. And here's why. If you go to a comedy show, typically it's about 90 minutes. If you go to a movie, anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours. And the reason that it's that long is because that's about how long attention span is. Mm-hmm. And when you go and you have a 7-hour WrestleMania, people just get tired. You know, when we have a show that has 6 or 7 or 10 people on it, by the end of the show, the audience is tired, not because of the time, but because every time somebody new goes up on stage, your brain has to process this is a different part. And so now it's like, okay, this is another thing. And it just seems like it's longer, even if it isn't.
Right.
You know, so I'm
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I'm with you on 2 hours. I think 2 hours is absolutely the right choice.
Oh, and they definitely cannot. Where's it at? Tampa this year coming up? Tampa? Because, I mean, they screwed a lot of people out of a ride home. For how long they've been down in New York.
My God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was a bad situation.
Big news, and people were really pissed.
Well, and the thing is, it wasn't the first time it was there. They should have known.
Oh yeah. So other news that you may or may not have heard was, and I am jealous of you, because apparently the second Rock and Rager that you've already got tickets to. There are some rumors and veiled responses from Jericho that the AEW show might be live from that cruise.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I mean,
I don't know how they're going to do it. To be real honest, I do not know how they're going to do it.
I think it'd be easy.
Well, no, but here's the deal, though. The internet on these cruise ships, even if you pay for the top package, are shit.
Well, they're not going to do it by internet, dude. They're going to bring. Look, Tony Khan is not like you and me. Tony Khan's going to go, oh, Chris Jericho, you want to do the show? I think that's a great idea. Let's get some satellite equipment on this boat.
Yeah.
So they're going to shoot it up to the satellite, and they're going to do it just like it was a remote live broadcast from a football game. It's not going to be internet.
It's going to be interesting because last year on the boat, like, you just kind of stand where you want to watch the matches and stuff. If they're going to actually make this TV, I wonder if they're going to be way more strict now, which is a fear, because the way it went down the first year was perfect. It was perfect. Don't mess with what works. If this starts becoming like really like you can't stand there because the TV, blah, 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 you can't do this, and everybody's just in gimmick the whole freaking trip, it's going to ruin the specialness that the cruise had. You know what I mean? So and I'm actually, because I thought about not going. I was like, I went one. Do I need to go? But it was so fun. I was like, yeah. And then all this stuff with the AEW, it's like, well, I want to go now because I want to see how different it will be from the first year to the second year, being that so much has changed. You know, the first year they did it, it was ROH who was directly working with them on the matches on the boat. It was an ROH ring. It was ROH talent for the most part, where now it's going to be an all AEW thing, a company thing. So I'm just nervous that it might lose some of its, special feel that it has. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out in January. So I'm very excited. I mean, and they're slowly starting to announce all the wrestlers, because before it was just like AEW will be there. Now they're finally coming out, like MJF, the Bucks, Cody, Brandy, Britt Baker, I think Omega.
I gotta say though, I think everything that I've ever heard Jericho talk about this cruise and everything he talked about it last year, I think that he is more about the experience than making it an AEW thing. And so I think it's still his thing. You know what I'm saying?
I really hope so. That's because I don't want to see it become. And the other thing is, even if it's like really good this year, I'm probably not going again.
Yeah.
Just I'd like to get back to, like I want to go to Tampa for Mania. It's close to where Wes is at, close to where his dad is at. So, that means like him and I can get some work done
Yeah.
out there. Plus it's, I haven't been to a Mania in a while. It'd be nice to go back. No matter, that's the thing. I'm a fan no matter what. And people are like, I can't watch this shit. I only watch this one, or I only watch New Japan. Like, I'm a
That's
fan. I'll watch
ridiculous.
any of it. I'll watch all of it. And
Yeah.
even if I'm not happy with what WWE is doing, I still want to be there.
Yeah.
And Mania is one of the best times to go. And I used to go all the time, and I haven't gone in years. Like, I think Dallas legit has been the last year I went to a WrestleMania. I want to go again. So, we'll do that. Plus, I think I just found out that the whole family is going to go on a Disney cruise. So I'm going to need money for that.
Wow. There you go. It's interesting because you mentioned about people choosing sides or whatever. And I mean, look, the beautiful thing about wrestling is this, that unless you're sitting there and know what's going to happen, you never know what's going to happen. And to me, that's why you want to watch, because you don't want to miss, something that happens. Like, for example, if I would have missed Brock clocking Rollins last night, I'd have been upset.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have been happy. I would have been upset with myself. Why did you miss that? And that's the thing. You just never know what's going to happen. And speaking of not knowing what's going to happen, we were going to talk a whole lot about New Japan on here, but I got to tell you, the last couple of days I've been searching the G1, looking at some YouTube matches, particularly from Jon Moxley. Holy cow, that is just it's just such a wild experience to watch the match in Japanese with Japanese commentary. It just makes it,
and the crowd is so much different, and the crowd is so different.
Yeah, the crowd is. It's almost like it's
theater to them.
Yeah, and it's almost like a golf audience here,
and
in a way.
Just the whole
yeah. Oh, we enjoyed that. We enjoyed you hitting him in the head with a chair.
Which is so funny because in America, you just hear the wrestlers talk about like, oh, we can't hear your pop. It's all about the pops, how loud you guys get it. It's what really fuels it. And then you go over there and it's like, well, how's that work then? That round of applause really gets you going in the ring. Like, oh man, they're really clapping tonight, like.
Yes, well, at least they're not whistling. Whistling is not good.
Oh, they just snap. They're like, yeah, we really like it.
You guys are kicking A.
They should do that. That'd be awesome.
Oh, man.
I am interested. Have you watched the trailer from TNT that came out to advertise that it's coming back?
Yeah.
That was they cut that good.
They
got a little bit of everything. They made it. They got some blood in there. They got some of the extreme stuff in there. They got the girls. They got every different kind of form, body, man, woman. They really showed that this has everything and anything.
And I'll tell you, I think they're doing a really good job of just saying we're going to be different. It's not the same thing. Mm-hmm. And it is. I mean, what they're doing is truly kind of a hybrid.
They go on sale for the first show Friday. I think it's a 15 or 20,000 person arena. I heard.
Yeah, I thought, and I heard the tickets were only going to be like $20.
Yeah, the cheapest ticket will be $20.
I mean, that's crazy.
But that's what they did for All Out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Most expensive actual ticket was $150. You could have got something more, but that was the VIP experience. But for just a straight ticket, you can still get down there for that. Which again, I'm still very upset that I have to do a wedding that day because I had a ticket. But
you did?
Yeah. My good friends out in Colorado that I met on the first cruise, actually. They got an extra ticket. They're going to go down, and they were like, it's yours if you want it. We want to offer it to you first. And I was like, yeah. And then I saw the date, and I was like, fudge.
Well,
So yeah, that ain't happening.
I'll
But
tell you what. I was lined up to get them, and I was pretty close.
were you?
I was at 13 minutes.
Really? Wow.
My number was 3,773.
How early did you jump into that waiting room?
Pretty early, but it didn't make any difference because what happened was and I tried all sorts of different things. I'm like, oh, where's your number? Didn't make any difference because I tried all different sorts of different things. They did not assign the numbers until the ticket sales opened. And once they opened, everybody that was in line, it just randomly shot out numbers to everybody.
Huh.
And then after that, if you came in line after, you went to the back. So everybody that hopped in after it opened went to the back. But if you were there in line, you got a random number.
So, like, if someone jumped into the waiting room 45 minutes before the on sale time, and then someone jumps in 5 minutes before,
same
there's
chance.
No disadvantage or advantage.
Nope, same chance.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. The only thing is that I will say that I was a little bit frustrated by was particularly for the Sears Center, you had to get into their ticket system. So you had to make an account to get into their ticket system to even get in line.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a pain in my neck because I didn't do it until that morning.
Right. Yeah.
But
well, it's going to be interesting to see because, they're going to run the Chicago show yearly. It sounds like it's going to be one of their main ones. It sounds like the Vegas show is going to be yearly. Some of them are saying Fighter Fest might be yearly, although I think Tony Khan said possibly yearly, but one of them, like maybe Cody or the Bucks, said it was a one-off. So obviously they didn't talk about that one together, but so it'll be interesting to see. The cool thing about their Vegas show, if they do it every year during Memorial Day weekend, it's my birthday weekend, so like it would be really cool to go to that next year. But again, Chicago's close. It would be cool to check that out. But I'm really interested to see the first couple months of their tour schedule when that comes out. You know what I mean? We know this first one's in Washington, D.C., but here's the deal. They already know they're going October 2nd. So I guarantee you they've already ironed out at least a month's worth of arenas the first month of shows.
Probably more than that.
Right.
Probably,
and they just haven't announced it.
More than that. And they can't announce it. I wouldn't think. I don't think. They probably want to hide it a little bit because clearly WWE is trying to counter program them already. Did you happen to watch the Smackville thing?
I did not. No.
I didn't either. That's because I had heard about it. I just sort of didn't have any interest.
Well, how about this? Did you? I don't know. Do you even have the W Network? What are you streaming yours on?
Yeah, I have the network.
And you're streaming it on what?
On a Roku box.
Okay, so did you have to do the reinstalling of it, or it may be updated? Did you have to re-sign in it the last time you went to it?
I did. So I had to re-sign in on my phone. I have not had to re-sign in on the Roku yet.
Because I was reading some reports that it sounds like they're getting ready to launch the tier system finally.
Yeah.
And that there's some stuff on there with this update where if you try to play it, it won't. And that's why people are like, oh shit. That's because they're probably going to roll out the tier system in the next month. And that's what this is. So the question is, I guess, I don't remember the prices off the top of my head as far as what they're looking to do. But I believe it was like a 3-tier system. But I think one of the thing is they want to bring more indie stuff in for like the top of the line tier if you're paying for that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they work this. Because I don't see AEW making their own network anytime soon.
Oh no,
give it a year or two and then maybe. But
they're gonna have to. Well, I think what'll happen is they'll have their own over the top streaming service with Bleacher Report Live, and they'll just do everything through that. Because there's no need for them to try to come up with their own network. They don't have enough content to fill it,
Right.
I mean, the Bucks with being the elite, I mean, they're not going to want to move that. They already have an established audience, and one of the big things that'll make it difficult for them will be to transfer the audience over.
Right. Yeah, it says that like all I'm finding right now is it says that they'll have 2 tiers, I guess. One that's free and one that's VIP. The VIP subscribers will get additional programming similar to the Evolve 10th anniversary celebration, which I don't know. I still haven't watched that Evolve special, so I guess I don't know. Did you watch it? Would that be something that would be like, okay, yeah, that's worth it?
I watched it only because the comparison. It was very similar to watching the AEW show, because there were, well, actually a little bit different. I knew who everybody on AEW was. There were some people on the Evolve that I didn't know who they were, only because I don't follow them, only because I'm not familiar with them. The matches were good, but you know, the production was, it looked like it was a house show, which, given where they did it at the old ECW, yeah, I mean, you can only make, I mean, you know, only tie so many ribbons on a pig, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, excuse me, I thought it was a good show, but I don't know that I'd pay extra to see it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing. I'm a nerd. I'll pay it. I already know that. I'm a nerd. I'll pay it.
Here's the thing: if I can still watch all the pay-per-views for what I'm paying now, I'll still keep it. If they want me to pay extra for pay-per-views, I'll probably not do it.
See, and I don't think that's. I mean, maybe if they do the 2-tier system and if one's free, maybe they'll be like,
Yeah.
all right, it's free, but you want to watch WrestleMania, it's going to be $20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Where, you know, if you're paying, I think you'll just get those for free still.
Yeah.
But I think I saw it's going to be like $12.99 or maybe $15 is what they're jumping up to, I think.
Now you're hitting me where I live, WWE.
You know what I mean? So, but again, it hasn't come. I haven't seen anything that says that you won't still get free pay-per-views with the free subscription. I think it will be, you just won't get special programming. They'll probably really sucker you on the NXT. You know what I mean? They'll probably start doing some special NXT shows and be like, well, you can only see it if you pay.
Gotcha.
Because I mean, let's be honest. I think that's probably still the biggest thing going on the network is NXT, besides their actual pay-per-views.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which is stupid because there was so many good shows. I was thinking about this the other day. I was actually thinking about this as I was sitting next to Sergeant Slaughter. This was going through my head, is how freaking funny his cartoon character was in Camp WWE.
Oh gosh.
And how they all did the voices for that.
Yeah.
And I was just imagining like the one where he's sitting in like his little bunker with like the missile launchers, and like every time Vince hits the button, he's like, we're gonna, oh no, never mind. He just gets sucked back and just like reads his man. And like the whole time he's sitting next to me, I'm just kind of thinking that, like, you know, giggling.
I'll tell you. Well, yeah, so many shows are on there that you know, I like the show that JR was a host of for a lot of the kind of the 4, not Table for 3, but the Legends of Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
You remember that one? Holy cow, that was good stuff.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed Legends House.
That was awesome.
Another season of that. You know what I mean?
That was awesome. Yeah.
The countdowns. They haven't done the countdown shows in forever. Yeah. I love those shows. You know what I mean?
And I'll be honest with you. I thought, and I've thought about this. It's like, you have Ziggler that's out doing comedy shows. Why don't you let the guy do a comedy show and put guys on it? You know,
yeah,
it's another spot where you can get comedians and you can get other people that wouldn't maybe necessarily watch wrestling to watch this channel.
Well, no. But did you get that? No.
I did. It was English.
Yeah. In all honesty, though, so many legends are doing their own stand-ups or stand-ups when really it's just storytelling.
Yeah.
But it can be funny. I mean, you got Hacksaw, Jake. Who else you got? I think
Honky Tonk is out and doing stuff.
Gross. No one go to that. Don't support him.
He was down at the Surf Ballroom in Mason City, Iowa.
Screw that guy. He's a jerk. Ugh. Anyways.
So this is, but that's who Arquette and RJ City wrestled. They wrestled Colt Cabana and Honky Tonk Man.
I don't mind Colt. I'm all good with Colt. This tattoo right here is actually inspired by one of Colt Cabana's logos.
Nice.
Yeah, which is, cool guy. Every time I see him, he's a cool guy. I just had a bad experience with Honky Tonk Man, and I'm sorry, man. I will never get over it. That guy was an asshole. So
yeah,
screw him. But like, so yeah, you're saying all those guys have comedy. Like Mick did a comedy special. Like, they should start letting these guys do like, oh, hey, let's put Jake's comedy special on this month, or hey, let's put Flair's comedy on, or hey, let's put JR's one man show on this. Well, okay, that one won't happen now,
maybe you know what, maybe what we need to do is come up with a pitch and send it to them and tell them we'll do them.
Start producing their
stand-up specials. Produce their stuff. I mean, why not? Why not?
Well, it's just sometimes it gets a little stale, man. Like I've burned through about every freaking WWE pay-per-view they have on there.
Oh yeah,
I've burned through quite a few VCWs. I've gone through some of the WCW stuff. For me, that was hard. There's some years that I could really get into WCW on that network, and there's some years that I'm just like,
So what I do with the network is I'll go through and I'll pick out my favorite stuff and go back and watch it, because there's some stuff I'm like, I'm not feeling it. But I mean, I just remember so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We got to, maybe next week we should talk about some of the live shows we saw. I saw one up in Fargo that's absolutely amazing. Only because it was such a shit show.
Yes.
Yes. Was a show that one of our salespeople from the station put into a place called Playmakers Pavilion, which is no longer there. And Eddie Sharkey's outfit brought the wrestlers up. And I will let you know that the two headliners were one was an AWA stalwart, and one was a WWE Hall of Famer, I believe.
Really?
And I'll just let you kind of see if you can figure that out. But holy cow, that was amazingly. I mean, it was one of the craziest things I ever saw in my life.
I bet.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy things, my friend, I spent some of the afternoon today putting together what I believe to be one of the foremost T-shirts in the world. And there it is right there. A masked comedian X-Cast. Yeah, I know the guy's a little douchey, but I mean,
no, that's my cousin.
It is not.
Sure it is.
It is. It looks like a beard. I thought I used that guy because it looks like Marty Skrull a little bit to me.
It kind of, him, and it also kind of looks like Frank the Clown, the super fan who dates Noelle Foley. Shout out, Frank.
Yeah, yep. Anyway, so here's well, yeah, it's nice, and I'm it's just so hard to try to find a place because I can't have a bunch of them printed up and sell them. So and I'll send you a link. I got a place where people can buy them. It's a little bit more than I want them to pay, but I mean, until we can get something going where we can get a little bit of support, they're going to have to pay through a drop shipper, which is going to be a little bit more expensive. But look at that logo is just so flippin' cool.
It is very nice.
I mean, that logo looks like, $100.
It really does look good. Yes. I like it.
So anyway,
we should have those to wear for the Brew House Pub show on August 12th.
I'm going to see if I can get a couple. I wonder if they charge me cost. I'll have to look into it, but August 12th, that's 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks, dude.
2 weeks. I know. That's going to be a busy weekend for me as well. We have our local Nerding Out convention. I'll be out there hanging out. Good old Hacksaw Jim Duggan will be there, as well as Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, my gosh.
Jake will be doing his comedy show, so I'm going to be out there for that as well. And then probably check out the convention a little bit on Sunday. Make a trip up. There's a bunch of us coming. We'll meet you up
Mm-hmm.
there. Check out the
Mm-hmm.
show. Thank God it's like 4 or 5 o'clock bell time, because
Yeah.
dummy over here never realized, like, oh, that just happens to be the same night as SummerSlam. So it's going to be a
Is
show's
it
done.
really?
Let's get back to town so we can watch SummerSlam.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't even, because it was funny. I was chatting up with, which also, real quick before we end the show, I just want to say, I gave out those names who are on the show, but
Yeah.
everybody in the IPW, all the talent, James, Vandy, Alex, Mike Malice, again, James Jeffries, Mighty Star, the women, Frankie J, all those, everybody involved with IPW, just hearts of gold, great people. So it was cool to see all of you guys again. Also, Wade Keller, Bruce Mitchell, Jason Powell, Brian Shields. Big shout out to all you guys. It was a blast to me hanging out with most of you again. Brian, good to meet you. But actually, yeah, that I was chatting up Wade Keller, and I was like, "You gonna be there?" And he was like, "Yeah, I might actually be at that." And then all of a sudden, he was like, "Wait, isn't that the same night as SummerSlam?" I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "No, I won't be there." So, but yeah, so I was like, "Damn it, I forgot about that." But yeah, so, but that'll
It'll
be
be
cool.
good.
That week's show, we'll have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. All right, my friend. Folks, if you've stayed with us this long, please give us a like, a subscribe, make a comment, and we'll let you know what we think about what you said, because we likes to be interactive. And myself, I'll be up in Duluth this weekend at the Dublin Brew Pub, if anybody knows where that is and wants to watch me do some comedy.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I got to get paid for something.
Be there.
Then I'm doing some dental office next week too. So
wait, what?
And yeah, it's you take what you can get, right?
That
I got to do
awesome.
a dental office. I'm already thinking, hey, knock knock. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna.
I just picture you doing stand up in the actual office while someone's getting their teeth cleaned, just like, yeah, it's a beautiful day out there, huh? Where are you from?
Hey,
just crowd work to the one person in the chair.
Hey, what do you think of those bicuspids, huh? Criminy. All right, buddy. Folks, thanks again for watching. We'll be back again next week, and we will add content, some of those little short takes as we can find it, and we look forward to seeing you again next week at about 10 after 9 right here on the Masked Comedian X-Cast.